Democrats have been in charge of the White House, the Senate, the House of Representatives now for over a month, and it has been, well, pretty much an unmitigated disaster, setting back the country in numerous ways, to say the least. Their first order of business was a weeks-long, all-consuming political stunt, the impeachment charade, with a predetermined outcome and nothing at all accomplished, ending with an acquittal. Their second order of business was legislation that, if passed, would ban President Trump from the Capitol grounds forever, and even Arlington National Cemetery after he dies. In the middle of a pandemic where over 100,000 Americans died during Joe Biden's time in the White House, raging against President Trump was still the Democratic Party and the media mob's top priority. They also just introduced legislation that would further undermine election integrity and also provide congressional voting rights to Washington, D.C. Clearly, well, these same Democrats have been in no particular rush to pass a COVID relief package and get money into the hands of Americans who actually need it. Now, they're finally getting around to that with a massive $1.9, not million, not billion, trillion-dollar spending bill. And unfortunately, it's little more than a wish list for the radical left, masquerading as a COVID relief package. Wall Street Journal rightly calling it the non-COVID spending blowout. Aside from direct $1,400 payments to Americans, many of whom need it, the bulk of spending is unrelated to getting immediate assistance to our fellow Americans in need through no fault of their own. In fact, nearly $700 billion won't even be spent until after 2022, including billions that won't be spent until after 2024. So we must ask ourselves tonight, how is that COVID relief? A whopping $350 billion is earmarked as a bailout for state and local governments, which, to translate for you, means that red states that elect fiscally responsible governors and legislatures, that balance their budgets, fund their pensions, that have low taxes, well, their hard-earned tax dollars from people in their states will be then transferred to big blue states that have only mismanaged their budgets, never balanced their budgets, tax their residents into oblivion, and never fund their pensions. In other words, put it nicely, welcome to the Biden United Socialist Utopia of America. In other words, money from fiscally responsible states. You vote for politicians that are fiscally responsible, well, that money will likely be going to places like New York and California, which are grossly mismanaged, wrought with political corruption. And the spending package also sets aside $50 million for environmental justice grants, $112 million for a transit project in California, you know, where Nancy Pelosi lives, $1.5 billion for the Seaway International Bridge, which connects Canada to New York. Oh, Chuck Schumer's home state. $10 million for a Native American language preservation program, $500 million for museums and libraries. Up, and here we go again. The arts and humanities, they will get a ton more money. $40 billion for colleges, universities, which have been collecting tuition the entire time. $750 million for, quote, global health. Global health. In other words, health care for people in other countries. That's America last again. And last but not least, $1 billion for, quote, socially disadvantaged farmers. And according to a Fox News report, that would include an equity commission and other assistance to advance racial justice in farming. And get this, according to the chairwoman of the Progressive Caucus, the bill will include a $15 federal minimum wage mandate. The CBO is reporting that this would result in the elimination of 1.4 million jobs at a time when millions of Americans are out of work, and more every day, as Joe Biden, with a stroke of a pen, is literally eliminating high-paying career jobs in the energy sector. Now, of course, no Democrat spending bill is complete without subsidies for illegal immigrants, federal money for abortions. If passed, don't worry, Planned Parenthood, they will now qualify for PPP small business loans, which then become grants, and bridges to Canada, environmental justice equity commissions for farmers, health care, and other countries. Now, also a budget bailout, really, for New York, for Andrew Cuomo, for Gavin Newsom in California. This is not a serious, thoughtful COVID relief package. What this really is a massive federal payout to everyone and every state that donated to and supported Democratic candidates in 2020. Even during a global crisis, the left is constantly playing political games.